I rocked up to a game, a major semi-final, late, hungover, in a taxi with like blood on my shirt, literally running onto the pitch. I started to run after work. Man, I stopped coughing up a lung for like the first 10 runs. It was like, oh, you're Archie Thompson, the footballer. But I'm more than the footballer, right? We're having a trial outside of the actual football stadium on a gravel car park. So it was like not even a football pitch. I didn't care because it was like, this is my opportunity, a chance. And I was running around, sliding around like a mad dog. Like they're probably looking at me going, this kid's on something, you know? But I wanted it so desperate. After the trial, I had blood, cuts, everything. And the coach said, yeah, we want to sign you.
Let's rewind the clock as far back as you can remember and
cool.
Just give us a bit of a...
I don't want to be on... I'll probably be on repeat because I've said the story.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Because we got to get to know you.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about you.
Yeah,
so.
Sweet. Easy. Easy.
Yeah, so...
Where did it all start?
Yeah, where did it all start?
Start as in...
Childhood.
Let's go.
Can you remember?
Yeah, childhood is that my mum's from PNG, Papua New Guinea. My dad's from New Zealand. Would have to start with them for me to be here. So
sure.
my dad met my mum in Papua New Guinea, and like because he used to work in the mines, and then they hooked up, went to New Zealand. I was born in New Zealand, and
whereabouts?
then Otahonga.
North or south?
North.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I was 5 weeks old when I came to Australia.
Oh wow, okay.
And I was in Sydney. In Liverpool, and then we went to the Blue Mountains in Lithgow, then Albury-Wodonga, then Bathurst. So I'm a country boy. Like I grew up in the country.
Oh.
And then probably only until I started to play football, I started to like first move to the city a little bit later. But man, yeah, so that's where it all started.
Yeah.
For me.
And what were some like pivotal moments as a child? Something that sticks out that you remember?
Oh man, there's lots of pivotal moments I think throughout everyone's life and mine. I think as a kid, and I've said this story a lot, is that I was an introverted kid, and people probably wouldn't know that knowing me, knowing what they see, but I was very introverted and shy, and I think maybe it's because of might have been a bit of my mum, like being a PNG woman, like taken from her family when she was younger. Both my family, my dad and my mum had traumatic upbringings, a tough upbringing. So I think in a way you always take a little bit of what your parents have, and then so I was this like introverted kid and dark skinned in the country. Always was like something that. I think was always a tough thing as well.
Even here in Australia, like it was a thing?
Man, Australia is probably like the worst for it, man.
Okay.
As much as we paint this beautiful picture of, we're a community and stuff, and we live in a wonderful country, but I felt the undercurrent of what.
Especially being in the country.
Yeah, and being like, I felt like a kid, and I keep saying, but I felt like, I'm just going to say my story anyway, even if it sounds like it's repeated, but someone doesn't hear it. They hear it now, is that like, growing up in the country, I felt like the only sort of black kid because there wasn't many dark-skinned kids at my primary school. I felt like I was the only one.
Yeah.
And
was it an energetic thing that you felt, or was there actually like, did people make it obvious?
There was a moment when I went to primary school that then it brought it all out. Like I remembered going like grade 2. It's, you always remember these moments that stick out in your mind as a kid because it affects you. And I always felt like, I didn't feel different up until that point. Whereas there was this book that we were studying on a Tuesday. They had this Aboriginal guy in it that was half naked standing up on a hill, and some kids started making fun of me about that. And I don't think I had experienced like colour up until then. And then maybe I did, but that one really stuck out for me. And then all of a sudden I was embarrassed of my color. I was embarrassed of my mum coming to school. I was like, I just because of that. And I would always try to be sick when it came to Tuesdays because I knew this book was going to come out.
Yeah.
I tried to be sick. I pretended to be sick. I had a headache. I could still smell the book of I could still smell that book of, the pages because of how much it affected me. So that's when I started to feel a little different. And I was young, man. I was only that's primary school stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you grow up and you're in sport and you're in these sort of country towns, and then it's more sort of noticeable. Like you might hear a parent say, "Kick that black bastard," or those sort of things. And then because my dad's white, so he used to fire up a little bit about it. So yeah, I think that's where that kind of started from. And then you feel a little bit uncomfortable in certain situations because of it. Like, am I getting judged on the color of my skin? And
he's ignited this insecurity in grade 2, and then it's very hard to
so
with
it's
that. Is it something you spoke about? Like, did you speak about it with your parents much? Or
no, because I don't think I understood it. I didn't know how to say to mum or my dad, especially my mum, like, "Mum, I'm embarrassed of my color and you being black, and I didn't want." Yeah, how do you say that to your mum, or even how do you express, or even how do you even know your feelings at that age? You only kind of, I think, understand it if you do. If you start doing some self-help work on you do some spiritual stuff, you heal in that way, that you understand about and I think I might have seen on some of your podcasts about child trauma and healing the inner child. I've done all that work too, and it's a continual work, but I've started, I did those sort of programs a couple of years ago just because I felt like there was something more that I need to be doing with myself. And I gave up drinking about almost 4 years ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Good
that
work,
was a big thing for me. I didn't know how destructive I was on that, in that journey. I'm 47. It took me almost till I was 43 years old to go, I can't keep doing these sort of things. I can't keep hurting myself. I can't keep hurting people that I love. And it got to the point where it was unpredictable which Archie was turning up. I was couldn't guarantee what my behaviour was. And that's a shit thing when in deep within you're a good person, but then, you sort of go a little bit off path, or you're in an environment that maybe lets you get away with a lot of things so you don't,
I think one of the most beautiful things in life is self-awareness.
Yes.
I think it's honestly one of the most powerful, beautiful things that one can capture is understanding. Sometimes you'll go through your whole life and not realizing that you're destructive or you're hurting other people. So the fact that you've worked that out is incredible.
And then you have moments and you have I'm not going to do that again. And then I think you find yourself doing the same sort of thing. And I think it stemmed back to, again, when I was younger, about being like the color of my skin, being that little introverted kid, then having something to be able to comfort that and bring you out of your skin a little bit.
Do you think that was your biggest thing that you dealt with growing up? Would that be the biggest standout?
Definitely.
As a child, not being able to be the truest expression of just who you are. You didn't choose to come into this world. You were brought here as who you were. It must have been really tough to be it's just who I am, and I'm getting picked on just for being who I am.
Yeah,
that must have been really hard.
It's hard, and you don't know, right? It's only
sure.
like you said, when you start to have a bit of self-awareness and conscious about things, and you learn more and you have a bit of knowledge about everything, that you start to understand that. And so I think when I think of alcohol and everything that came with it, started when I was younger, because the relationship I had with it was not a good one, because I couldn't stop when I started, and then it brought me out. I could talk to people. I could chat up girls. I could have if I didn't have that, I couldn't do it. So when I grew up and I started to got a little bit older, those habits stayed, but then you start doing some stupid things that maybe you would have been able to get away with when you were younger. You can't when you get older and you've got family and you've got kids. So that for me was a big realization and a start of my journey into self-awareness, wanting to learn more about the traumas of myself as a kid, my own family's
generational trauma.
Yes, which is what it is, right?
If you're still here, I really appreciate you. We don't take these conversations lightly. And if today has stirred something in you, we've created something alongside the podcast to support that journey. Our C60 was built with the same intention you're hearing now. It's linked in the show notes. All right, let's continue.
100%. I believe in those sort of things, and I'm very strong in the spiritual side of life as well.
So you were 43 years old. You started to realize that, but it started from when you were in year 2.
Yeah.
At that moment, how did life spiral from there? What was the rest of primary school like?
Well, I mean, I got kind of kicked out of school, really. And I was, I was fortunate enough that I was good at something, and I was good at sport.
Would you say sport was an outlet back then as well?
Yeah, when I think about it. But sport also too connects you with people, and you almost, if you're doing well, people kind of acknowledge that and they say, "Oh wow," and then you've got a connection in that. And then kind of feeds the ego a little bit as well. So I was kind of lucky I had that, so that kind of guided me. But I was always kind of my path was never straight. It was always deviating here and there, got kicked out of school, went to court, did all these sort of things. My path could have gone that way, but I'm very blessed. I think there's an ancestor or something. The universe looks after me every single time with things. It shields me from things. It puts me in things that need to learn from, and I'm definitely on a better path now. I have great relationships with my kids. They see me evolving because large periods of my life, I've been very selfish. And you've got to have a selfish mindset if you want to, you've got to have healthy, I think, selfishness. And I don't think I had that. With sport and being a professional, you need to be selfish because there's certain things that you have to do, and you can't have those distractions. But so I feel like I've lost a lot of time in things that I was chasing instead of what was already in front of me. But I'm in a good place now. I'm happy. I'm content. I'm more content with less things that I have than when I had more things.
Yeah, I think it's crucial to be selfish in the degree that it makes you the best version of yourself.
Yes.
So if you're being selfish to do something that betters you, I think that's a blessing. That's a really good thing to be doing.
And that's 100%.
You're presenting the best version of you to everyone around you. So that's a blessing for everyone.
Yeah, it's like self-care. I wouldn't even say it's like selfish now. I would say self-care.
Self-care.
So my self-care now is a lot better than maybe what it was before.
Being at the champion that you are, what was it would have taken a lot of discipline. What was the driving force behind that discipline?
Ah, gosh. Well, like I said, my path was not the straight one. I ended up in court. And
At what age was that?
Probably 15 or 16 when I got kicked out of school, and then went to court with my mum. And my mum was so upset. She was just so disappointed in
Can we ask why? What?
Oh, no. Okay, I never said that. But I shouldn't have been doing some things in school. And, I got kicked out a couple of times. And the funny thing about that is that I got kicked out of school, wasn't welcome back. But then only a couple of years ago, they asked me to do a talk at the school.
Oh
wow, what a 360 that is. They could, I couldn't get away from it. No, they couldn't get me away from it. Now they want me to come back. I'm wow, that's cool. It just shows you how much you learn. And, and then my mum was really upset. And I kind of been part of some academies and I kind of threw all that away because I wanted to kind of have fun and hang out with mates and go to parties and do all this the fun things, but that was destructive also. And then so my mum was upset, and I said to my mum, I go, I promise, Mum, you won't see me. And I made this at 15 and 16. I said, you won't see me in this ever again. I'm going to do you proud. I'm going to try football again. And so I did all the little things when you make decisions, I think, and the decisions, the universe starts to kind of, I think, help you in those. They sort of present things.
That mistake was probably one of the best things that have happened to you, because then that was the driving force.
And you always hear about these things, right? Like you always hear about, like, you know, the mistakes that you make is the ones you learn from, and then you something will happen from it, even though it's so painful at the time. But I like started to try and get back into my football, and I was working at a Chinese restaurant as a kitchen hand. And I used to play with Harry Kewell, and Harry Kewell was like, he's a superstar. He just signed at Leeds United. He was making he was only 16 or 17, making 100 grand a week. But I don't even know if it was even the money. I think it was just that he was there, and I was at the same or near the same level of where he was growing up. And I'm a kitchen hand in a Chinese restaurant in Bathurst, and he's like here, and I'm like, I saw that on a television on one of my breaks, and I went, look at this. I mean, I was close to it. That's it. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to at least get my chance, give it a good shake. And so I stopped all the sort of bad shit I was doing. Sort of got rid of all my friends, and I wouldn't say got rid of them. I just, you know, their paths wasn't aligned with what my path was and my goal. And I think that's the sort of selfishness, but self-care in terms of like, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to focus. So I've got to start trimming away at things. And on reflection, I wish I could have done things better, because some of those friends, like you talked about the relationship you guys have since you're 4 years old, I had with one particular mate who we used to hang out all the time, but you know, the things that we were doing were probably not the right things to be doing if you want to kind of be an athlete and whatever. So I cut that off without even saying, hey, I want to work on this and I might need to not do this. So I have regret in that, because he would have done absolutely anything. All those guys that I was hanging would have done absolutely anything.
But also you were like at such a young age, and you said the word before, decisions, like the decisions you make when you've got two choices in front of you. You know, it takes the discipline to be able to make that choice.
Yes.
And then you've made the choice at that age to cut off a close mate. That's like an intense amount of discipline, man. Not a lot of boys would be able to do that.
And that's why I think my path after that, because it started from, you know, because I used to drink and smoke and all that sort of shit when I was younger. My body was like, even at 16, it was like, I reckon I put about 10 years onto it. And I worked at a Chinese restaurant. It was probably, man, it wouldn't have been only about 3 or 4 Ks to my house. And I started to run after work. Man, I stopped coughing up a lung for like the first 10 runs. I stopped about 20 times. Like I would start, like I'd be, oh man, but I would just continue to do it because that's a discipline of it, because I wanted it so badly. Is that 20 times that I stopped running became 15 times stopped, and 15 became 10. And I think one of the biggest pivotal moments you talked about is that when I made it home and just without even stopping, it just was like, man, that I've done it. Like that's one little thing that I've
saw the improvement.
And by putting the discipline in, and and keeping focused and having a goal, even at 16, even when I say to kids today about having the goal and the dreams. It doesn't matter what age. I mean, I made that decision at 16 with everything that was going on. I knew this is what I wanted to do, and I wanted to be able to build relationships and be proud, and show that my mum and dad that like they've got something to be proud of. You know, and then all of a sudden I make it home in one time, and then I get a phone call out of the blue. Like, this is what I'm talking about, like the universe and stuff. Coach rings her up and said, Arch, would you think about, to my dad, would you think about bringing Archie to a trial in Gippsland? Like, and this was like the old National Soccer League, the NSL. And I didn't know anything about football. I saw Harry, but I didn't know the NSL. I didn't know nothing. And which was probably a good thing, because I went in there naive without knowing anything and anyone. So no one would I don't think I would get overthrown, what's the word I'm looking for? Overawed by anyone. Because I didn't know anyone. Like, I didn't know anyone's achievements or what they've done. So I went there, and this is like what I said, the universe. I hadn't spoken to this coach. He was a junior coach from years ago, saying, Arch, and I'm like, okay, I wasn't going to waste this opportunity, because I didn't know when these opportunities were going to come. So I said, my dad said, let Arch go on. So
when you were running, was there an expectation that you wanted to start to play soccer?
Yes.
Or was it just you were just running to get fit? Like, what was the reason?
No, because I started back at a local team.
Okay, so you were still, okay.
Cool, yeah, so those little things like those running back, then getting back in, because I completely stopped. I was playing local level, but really, man, I was rocking up to games like as a 15. I rocked up to a major semi-final, late, hungover, in a taxi with like blood on my shirt, and literally running onto the pitch. And then I could probably, I don't know, I could let down my teammates, because we ended up losing that. But mate, these are the decisions I was making. You know, I mean, it was still like a progress, little things. And I'm still like, my recollection of everything is still trying to remember it. Because I've had so many different paths, but
sure,
that's where I was at. But I slowly got rid of all that sort of shit. And like I said, I went to this trial, and there was this coach named Frank Arrock, an absolute legend of Australian football. I didn't know anything about him. He just said, look, we're having a trial outside of the actual football stadium on a gravel car park. So it was like not even a football pitch. But I didn't care, because it was like, well, this is my opportunity, a chance. And I was running around, sliding around like a mad dog, and they're probably looking at me going, what's this kid's on something, But I wanted it so desperate. And, after the trial, I had blood, cuts, everything. And the coach said, yeah, we want to sign you.
Wow.
Yeah, so and then my journey sort of took off from there. And I think from just having discipline at that young age, just to get to there, that's where my level of discipline. But my discipline sometimes would still get, not be good, not be great.
Because at that point you hadn't done the self-care, the inner work.
That's it. I got myself there, but I was really didn't have any knowledge about the other stuff.
Now you're talking about, like, 'cause looking back, you say, the universe, and at the time you didn't obviously see it like this.
Oh man, I didn't know.
So when did you? At what point could you look back and be like, oh wow, like put the pieces of the puzzle together?
Well, it wouldn't have been like till I kind of understood. When it was like this book called The Secret, or I don't know if you read that. And when it first came out, there was a book and there was a video. Man, I was right into it. I was like manifesting, okay, like whatever you. Mind you, I think the way that I manifested there was only surface stuff. Like it was only not the deep, meaningful stuff. It was just like the money, it was really more about the money.
I think that's what, when everyone first delves into it, that's the first, and the way it portrays on that movie, it is all about money. Like, it's just all money,
100%. But
so it kind of makes sense.
But it was like, I was so strong in it that I like things would happen. I wrote down that I want to earn this much a month. And then I just signed my new contract and I forgot about what I'd written down. And man, I literally went back. It was exactly the money. It was crazy. And then when I played a grand final and we won against Adelaide, I was already in my head. I'm like, I'm scoring a hat trick. Like I'm just scoring a hat trick.
Yeah.
And I said it even because you got to believe it, right? Yeah. So when you, like, I think it was Conor McGregor actually says it, like if you believe it and you say it, you know, you're believing it.
Yeah.
So when I put it out there and say it, everyone might go, oh, that's a bit ego. But there was a bit ego, but there was actual belief. And then I end up scoring like 5 goals in that grand final, you know? And then, but then also too, I think when it's surface level stuff, those things don't stick around. And then you learn about the deeper stuff. And that's the important stuff.
Yeah, just quickly, that like saying that out of you, like, yes, it is ego, but the only reason you've got the ability to have that much ego when you say it is because you've put the hard work in.
Yeah.
You've put the hard work in and you know what you're capable of. And then you cast the spell.
Yeah. So it's all those things.
It's all of it.
Yeah.
You can't, it's not like some guy on the street saying, one day I'm going to play soccer and they haven't put the work in.
Yeah.
It's the work and the belief put together is like the formula.
Yeah, well, 100%, and it's all action, man.
Yeah, it's all action.
Everything is action. I would always have been like I still find myself a little bit in this, but I'm probably more so is that like I take action on things, you know.
That's the thing that people get confused with the law of attraction, the law of vibration, is because it, like someone's sitting there saying, I'm going to make $1 million, I'm going to make $1 million, but they don't do anything. It's like, all right, do that and then go and fucking chase the million and you'll get it. Yeah. But don't sit here and think it's going to fall from the sky.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how it works.
No, it doesn't. You still got to put
you got to put in the work.
And then sometimes too, I feel like the vibration universe, it also too rewards, right? It rewards you for things.
Yeah.
The journey I'm on now, and you know, a lot of things that have happened in my past that I've come to terms with and apologize for and to myself for. And now, like, I mean, I love golf, really. Like, I love golf. Golf is a massive obsession with me, and this is this attraction, right? Like I just started getting back into my golf because I love it so much. And I'm like, okay, you know, I want to play more golf. I want to play more golf. Golf games started to happen for me. Like people say, you want to play golf? I'm going, yeah, I'll play golf. And then I won a golf trip.
Yeah.
Man, I won a golf trip to Turkey.
Wow.
Like, but the way that it happened, like it was a last minute ring in, like, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a call to this guy. This is little action things. I'm gonna make a call to this guy and see if I can get in. I got put in. I won the day.
Wow.
I won a trip to Turkey to play golf. Business class flights, return 6 days at a 5-star resort, 5 rounds of golf.
Wow.
Like, you know, so, but
How
I always
can you not believe?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I always like, I feel very strong in that.
Yeah.
I can attract things that I want. Sometimes it's not necessarily what I need, but because I love golf so much, it makes me feel so good inside to be out there connecting. And you talk about connection. Golf's connecting for me. I'll play with some randoms. I went and played at Yarrambat. You know where Yarrambat is?
Yeah.
It's bloody out in sticks. And I went and had 18 holes. I actually just played 9 holes with this random, and he was a lovely guy. I got to speak to him, and
so good.
you know, he was, by the end of it, we're not talking golf. He's telling me he's flying drones and looking at deers in around there, like, you know, these sort of random things. And but that's what golf does for me too. Like, I'm out in nature. I want to like test myself with certain things, but I want to make relationships and friendships. I had best mates. I've found best mates on a golf course, but these are so I told my daughters too, because my daughter, I got a daughter and a son, but my daughter, I'm always telling her to really put it out there, attract that, because you look, man, look what I did.
I was going to say, it sounds like you're very good at this because you're an Australian champion. Do you want to go into like how that journey now, like the journey of becoming a champion?
Oh man, look, there's so many players out there or people out there that have had so much more success in football than I have. I've been just really lucky that I've came back here at a time when football was really just it was hibernating because of everything that was going on. Like they just couldn't get their shit together, and then all of a sudden we the new A-League. I'm overseas, come back, and even that was like.
Were you playing overseas?
Yeah, I was playing overseas. Okay. I was leading goal scorer in my team.
Where were you playing?
In Belgium.
In Belgium, wow.
I was coming out of my last year, so they wanted me to stick around. But I decided to come home because my ex-wife was having our second child, and it was tough having a kid over there. Another language, different culture, so far away from home, not having that support. But then coming back here, it's hard to get into Europe, and it's hard to kind of establish yourself in there. And so I did, but I made the step to come back to the A-League, and I don't know if I would be sitting here today if I didn't make that chance, didn't take the chance because it was taking a step backwards, I thought, in my career. But man, it's been a million steps forward.
Yeah. You seem to have made some really critical decision, which it always is the case. But in that moment, did you feel like, because you're saying you felt like it was the wrong thing to do, but was there something inside you that felt that was the right thing to do?
Yeah, well, I think it was more a family decision than like a football one.
Yeah, but which means it was a heartfelt decision.
Yeah, yes. And I guess the heart ones are the ones that end up being the more purposeful ones. So maybe if I had decided to come back for money and not think about the heart, that might have been a completely different journey. But
also staying there would have been because the intention would have been the money.
Yeah, yes.
Anyway, because it was like family or career.
Yeah.
But family paid the better dividend.
Yeah. So that was, and then man, it's worked out beautifully.
It's a good reflection.
Yeah, I came back to Melbourne when they was screaming football. We were the only team. We were the hottest ticket in town for years, because no one really, football had not been at that level before. It had been all these different other clubs, but then Unite won, and man, the atmosphere, other people, other athletes from other codes were wanting to get to our games because they would have never experienced fans like what we have with football. I know that with AFL, I think, because I went to I got a ticket to go to because when I was at Fox, I got a ticket to go watch a grand final, because I'd never seen one. It was Adelaide against Richmond. I can't remember what year it was, but I'd never been to a grand final. I just wanted to see what it was like. So I went there, and man, it was loud. It was loud. I'm thinking, wow, this is good. The ball gets bounced and it went dead quiet.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, this is okay. Well, where's the atmosphere? And then it just became people yelling and no chanting, no singing, and it's still
towards the end of the game it goes mayhem if it's close, but it does go quiet.
It goes quiet. When you're from an environment where it's just constant singing, when the grand finals I've ever been part of, it's it's nuts,
Well, so they're not quiet in a soccer game.
Oh no,
at all.
They're just chanting.
Some clubs maybe not as fanatical. I know with Melbourne Victory they're fanatical.
Yeah.
So there was always singing.
It's the culture.
Yeah, it's the culture.
Right?
But
is it hard to concentrate while they're?
Oh, you love
it amps you up. Okay.
That's why you see a lot of you see a lot of footballers soon as they maybe even get a corner, they're to the crowd, because it gets them fired up, but it gets you fired up because everyone's starting to sing and really But I went to that one and I was so I ended up because where I was sitting was all the superstars of all these different codes that come to experience a grand final, and I left at just before the first quarter.
Wow.
But mind you, I wasn't supporting any of the team.
Yeah, I understand.
And I saw this random bloke from Adelaide. Man, he was a bit rough. He had he looked like he'd been travelling all night. Yeah, just stains on his pants and his jumpers and stuff. I say, mate, you want to go and watch the game? Because he was outside the stadium, MCG. And I'm like, yeah, take my tickets and go sit up there. But don't go outside, man, because, just stay inside, watch a game from there. Anyway, bloody 15 minutes later, I get a call, Archie, what did you do with your tickets? I'm like, what do you mean? This guy's like sitting like it's really meant for like talent and that. This guy's got about 2 hands full of beer for himself. Like just excuse me, like knocking over all these guys and this random bloke from Adelaide. But I'm like, you know what? That's good. I mean, he's travelled, he's experienced like that. But I have like I think the thing I've always been very humble. I've had ego, but I've like, you got to have some sort of ego, just how you use it. But I've always had a good relationship with the fans because really we're not fucking saving lives, man. Like we're kicking a ball for goddamn sake. Like, you know, these are the guys that are working hard, scraping whatever money up to come watch you play. Like, you know, and they're probably bringing their family, which could be a holiday for them, you know, and I always remember that, and I always think that, and because I come from like humble beginnings as well, like, you know, my family and my mum and my dad have always instilled in me a bit of humility. Sometimes it gets lost, but so I've always had that connection with fans, like to be able to give them the time. And I gave that guy an experience. Like
so good.
Yeah, like he probably would have never been able to see that. I think his team lost, I think, because Richard were on that amazing run. And but still, like, incredible.
Nah, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Man, nice. If you're able to give give something like that. I mean,
imagine him going back home telling everyone.
Yeah, man, he's like, he had the best seats in the house, by the way, too. Like, with the people that he was around.
And a very good story.
Yeah.
Archie Thompson gave me tickets.
Yeah, it was funny. But God, I got some stick after, and I didn't get. I don't think I got invited back.
You left that quarter time. I don't think you wanted to go back anyway.
Yeah, I know, but it was still pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's good, man.
What's like the polarity of like humbleness and ego? Like, what does that actually mean to you? Or the ego?
Gosh, yeah, good question, actually. Yeah, I think ego.
It sounds like you have a healthy relationship, like a nice balance.
Yeah, I remember like times when this is, I think with ego is like, it's all surface stuff and what you have, like, you know, and I remember going to a club like late at night and being a fucking hero, saying to the bouncer wouldn't let me in, right? So I'm thinking, I'm Archie Thompson, man. I'm like Melbourne Victory Marquee. Like, when I get so upset when I think about that. But I can't watch old videos of myself.
You would have been under the influence of alcohol.
Yeah, that's right. But even watching old, I've deleted all old videos on my Instagram of me because I knew that wasn't me talking. Like my true self. I could see that I was wanting something else. And so I deleted all, like even the way that I would like pose or like pretend to like look out there and that. I cringe at that shit, man. I cringe at my own videos. Like I couldn't, like sometimes when I'm like, oh man, I delete it because I know that that's not, I knew what I was looking for and it wasn't like really who I am.
It's a beautiful self-reflection.
Yeah. Like, so the ego was like, this bouncer was like, oh man, I earn more than this watch earns, like is more than what you earn in a year. Like, but it wasn't. It was a shitty, it was a shitty watch. But it's my ego that made it more than what it really was. And I think your ego makes you more, you think you're better than everyone else. You think you deserve things more than what that person deserves. Like those really, like I would float into that because like I'm like a very giving person, I think, but sometimes situations and your environments make you that way.
I think Paul's right when he says it's like you're under the influence of alcohol. You probably would have found you were mainly like that when you were on alcohol.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the thing, like it brings out any sort of like any drugs or any sort of, even sometimes like the things that we do or the things that we can say, I think it depends on your inner self, what your central nervous system's like, how you're feeling on the inside. Because when you drink, it amplifies that inner sense of yourself. So like I was a very similar, like I got not similar, but alcohol used to do that to me too, man. It used to bring out this ego, man. It's not just like the watch and the bouncer. It's that whole thing. Like bouncers are they're projecting so much fucking ego to make you trying to make you feel shit. So then you're just doing something in return to combat that. It's like it's an unconscious behavior, but it's way more unconscious because you're on the influence of alcohol.
Definitely. I feel like a lot of the times, all the big times that I've really done some silly stuff and acted in ways. It was under the influence, always. So like, by cutting that out, and your inside is, I think, a reflection of your outside is what's happening inside, right? Like, so I think when I look at myself in the past, is like I was always looking for something. And I was always looking for something outside. When I think about it now, I was always looking for something. But really, you would have heard it so many times. It's really what's within, and now, like when I present myself, I don't. Like, there's times that I might get nervous or whatever, but like I'm comfortable. Comfortable here inside. That my outer is like that too. The peace that I have now is unbelievable. Like the relationship I have with my partner. And my partner now, like, is beautiful because the reflection, the hard work I've kind of been able to work with inside, and and past relationships that, like, I wish I could have turned up as a different person because at a lot of times you've loved someone, like you've really truly loved them, and I'm someone that like falls in love, man. Like I'm someone that. When I think about it, like I'm not romantic in the way of like I think of romantic gestures and stuff, even though I wish I could. Like, but I love.
You
like,
fall, you fall hard.
I do. I fall really hard, and I want to. Like, there's been relationships where I've loved hard, but because I haven't been able to do the things or work through the things. To be able to show up in relationships that I've kind of spoiled that. But then that's learning as well. I mean, I'm in a relationship now is that we're both doing the inner work, and it's beautiful.
You're really spot on with like it's what's inside you. I grew up an angry boy too. Like I had a lot of anger inside me, and who knows what, ego, anger. Obviously with the work and the self-reflection and realizing who I am and where it came from. But I always say when I see someone that gets angry and they start to blame the other person for their anger, I say, when you cut open an orange, what's inside the orange? It's orange. You're not going to get an apple. You're going to get what's inside. It's every time you cut an orange, you're going to get an orange. Whatever you reflect out of you, it's what's inside you. If you're getting angry, you have anger inside you. It's not the other person that's making you angry. They're not controlling you. You're in control. You've got anger inside you. It's self-reflection. It's not, don't reflect on the other person.
But you know what? I still fall short in that I get angry.
Yeah, of course.
But you know what? The thing is, and I think this is where I've learned a lot about myself, is that I'm quick to quickly go change that. Like yesterday, I got like my partner, I didn't see like that she was wanting me to help her with certain things. I went and played like golf, but I could have been more conscious to that. And then there was a little part of me that still was like, I knew that she wanted help, but I still went and did that. And then she was just telling me how she felt, right? But I got upset and angry about it. Why didn't you tell me? But really, it was my own stuff that was projected, because I knew deep down that it was mine, that I should have been there and I should have helped in that situation. But I'm quick to go, you know what? I even though my ego, that's the ego saying, no, you're right. The ego's telling you're right when you innately know deep down that you're not right, and and I think that's where you sort of your self-knowledge of things, and you're conscious of things is, you're responsible for your second thought, not your first thought.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's my one thing
Beautiful way to put it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, right? Like, because we're going to think some fucking warp shit, man. Like, we think of warp stuff. Yeah. Like, man, you walk down the street and I love dogs, right? But you might think, walk down the street and like, a thought will pop in your head, I wonder if I kick that dog. Like, you're not thinking I want to kick a dog. Like, it's not like, what the hell, where the hell did that come from?
It's actually so true. It's in the quantum field,
it's like, where did that come from, man? That's a sicko thought. Like, I'm not sick. But then you're not responsible for that thought.
Yeah.
It's the action that you take on your second thought, right?
I always have those.
Yeah, but it's like that, right? So I'm more responsible now. I've really taken that on. It's like, even when I'm in traffic and I'm like, oh yeah, you cut me off. But then
so true.
Don't act on your first thought, because if we all act on our first thought, it'd be friggin' chaos in this world, man. And that's where I think there is chaos, because we don't really take a moment to go, hang on, that's not.
I really love that. That's
isn't that a cool thing? You're not responsible for your first thought; it's your second one, and it's what you do with that, right? Like, because you've got a moment to be able to breathe on it.
Yeah, I'm sure you wouldn't be having this conversation 10 years ago. It would have been.
No, man, I acted on the first thought every single time, man. That's why I think when I heard it, I was like, man, because it was powerful. Because it was like something that I was never thought about, but I was never good at. Like, I never pausing.
And if it wasn't for your first relationship, you probably wouldn't be here with your second.
Or maybe third, fourth relationship.
Yeah, whatever.
So it's taken me a little while.
Whatever it is. No,
it's
all growth.
It is, right? Like, I think of my ex-wife. Like, I've learned so much from that. Like, some things that I did that I'm so I still get like at football games, like they still hurl abuse at me for certain things that might have happened in my past, and it hurts that. But
what do you mean by that? Sorry.
Oh, look, I don't like to go too deep into it, but like there's some pretty awful kind of chants. So like, this is almost, I don't know. There was an incident that happened a long time ago between me and my ex-wife, and and it was sad and it hurts, but I'm still reminded of it by fans.
That should stay at home. That shouldn't be
but when you're in a public domain, and this is where I talk about like being intoxicated and not being aware of like the things that you do, and so that's and you wish you could go back in time and change all those sort of things, but the only way you can be better is by being better.
Yeah,
and I think when I am in the relationship now that I'm in, I'm trying to show my kids a better version of me that I maybe wish I could have turned up in their mums, but I was not able to do that. I didn't have the tools. It's no excuse, but it's still like I know that I know innately that I would be better in certain situations, but it didn't happen to be that way. But I could only be the person I am now, and I've never really said anything like that before, because it's something I'm not like proud of. But we're not proud of things that we've done in our past, and my kids know who I am, and they know who I am even then. But it was just things happen, I
feel like we're getting to meet Archie for who Archie is today, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, look, I mean, and look, we're all guilty of things that we've done, and we all wish that we could go back and change certain things and patterns, but we've got an opportunity now, and that's what I'm doing now, and that's all I can do. But it hurts sometimes when you get reminded of it, especially when your kids are there, or you hear there's young fans, and that's painful still. But I'm not that person, so it's like it doesn't have,
and you never were.
No, it's because I don't think. Well, look, there is evil in this world, man. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
But I'm not an evil person, man.
No, definitely not.
So, And not like we're all not. I think deep down we're not all bad people. It's just sometimes things affect us in ways that
it's the actions. Like you said it earlier, it's like it's taking the action, and then you've said this thing like where the first thought, but sometimes the first thought could be a good thought, and you take action on it. But then sometimes it's a bad thought, and it's discerning the thought. Yeah. It's actually sitting with the thoughts and knowing which one should I take action on.
And try and be intoxicated and all that sort of stuff. And try and make and try and differentiate from the.
Usually you're going to take the
You're not your truest self when you're under alcohol. You're under the influence.
Yeah, not at all, man. Like
you're not going to be the same person.
No, 100%. So like my journey now is like, man, with all those crutches that I had, I no longer have. I'm just so much more like free and able to be able to speak and know that what I'm saying is like what I'm saying. And like I grew up like, and this is some things that I kind of wish I could go back to and change, is that like, you know, I would say to a lot of kids, don't do this, don't do that, when, man, I was doing all those things. Yeah. And I'm telling him not to. So I felt like a fraud. Like I was a fraud, man.
Yeah, but without you doing those things, you wouldn't know to tell them not to do it.
Yeah.
Your past experiences and everything that you've been through, and I say this almost on every podcast, that's your superpower. Yeah. You going through what you went through, although you may have regret, it now gives you the knowledge to help others. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But I think by saying I was a fraud is that when I was telling them not to do the things to do, I was still doing those things.
Okay,
that's the fraud part of it. And that's what I have a lot of shame in. Yeah. As a role model for kids.
Hypocritical.
But like, and they've got this picture of you and you're like, but you mean it, what you're saying, but you're still doing the things that you're telling them not to.
Because you're when you're telling them that in the moment, you probably weren't intoxicated. You probably weren't suppressing the emotions, but then you'd go off. You're now feeling the emotions of your past, and then you have the outlet. Maybe it's drinking, maybe it's buying an expensive watch. You know, materialism is just as bad as drinking. You know, and these are the things that like. You know, once you enter into those realms, there's the repercussions. There's the repercussions.
100%. So now,
and it was like when you said it to them, it was real.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah. But I think it probably because in myself it was like, like I'm still saying to them, you're right. Like I'm saying to them, don't do this, which is good because they're hearing it, right? But then I guess because it wasn't. I wasn't doing it. It was hurting me.
Shamefulness.
Shameful.
And also another thing in life is like you don't need to tell anyone to do anything or not to do anything. You just need to lead by example.
Yeah, that's
the biggest thing, especially like for your kids, but also like maybe someone like yourself where you were a public figure and people look up to you. You need to lead by example. You can't really just be talking the talk.
Yeah, and so I wish I always led by example on the football pitch, and I always led by example on training field, but I probably didn't lead by example in the change room outside of that. And I if anything, I have a lot of regret in the way that maybe some of the younger kids in my team were seeing me and how I acted, and that's not the role model that they should be trying to aspire to be like the football and the sort of that, but you still want your legacy to be like he's a good man. He's a good, like he's actually a really good man. I've floated in and out of the goodness of it, in every in all these little aspects when it came to relationships, everything. I wish that I could have shown my younger teammates a better version of what I could have been for them. Yeah. And but they see me now. I still have great relationships with, and we have a laugh and a joke. Look, it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, we had a good time and fun, but knowing what I know now, I think it's
Do you want to touch on? I know a lot of athletes, and it's a big thing in AFL where players go from, playing to retirement, and it's a really tough transition.
Yeah.
Did you want to touch on a little bit of that?
Yeah,
how
look,
that was for you?
I've been very blessed and grateful that I've had I've had the personality and I've had the career to be able to step into like the media, which has really helped me. Like it's because I didn't really need to look for anything else outside of like retiring.
Yeah.
But in saying that too, I probably didn't take that seriously enough in the first couple of years because I just felt like I could just go and that's the ego. Like I could just go in there and know what I know, and then I don't have to worry about like what's happened in the context of anything. But I was bad. Like I think
you've been high on life at that point, though, to a certain degree.
Yeah. Like I was, I mean, I just was going through so much, I think too, because I went through a stage when I've retired where I was going through a marriage breakup, wasn't told I wasn't going to play football again. And my kids were living overseas at the time. So those three things all happened at once. So it was really chaotic, and I'm very lucky that I've had, like I said, I had the career to be able to go into something else. But I was just in a really bad place.
Yeah.
I didn't, and it wasn't until someone sort of mentioned to me, an ex-teammate, a good friend of mine, said to me, "Archie, where are you, man? Like, what's going on with you?" Like, I don't call you. I don't, because you're not present. You don't want to be anywhere. You don't go anywhere. You're an amazing person to be around, man. Like you've got great light. Your energy is amazing. When you're on, like when you're good within yourself, you're the best person to be around, man. But I don't know who this person is right now. And that really hit home because no one had spoken the truth to me about that. And so
how long ago was that?
That would have been like when I was retired, just coming out of retirement. Just retiring.
Yeah. And when was that? Sorry.
Probably.
Like how old were you?
17.
But
man, you're a kid when you're when you're a pro athlete. You're a kid. You go into the environment as a kid.
Yeah.
You leave the environment as a kid, I think, because
very good. Well,
you don't grow up in a way because you don't.
You're in a bubble.
You're in a bubble. You don't. Sometimes you don't need to take responsibility for your actions because they want to. Because I was kind of like the man for a long time, so they didn't they were happy to push things
to the side.
So to the side because of because of who I was, but I don't think they would have taken the shit that I was doing for anyone else.
That's very interesting because that means they were pumping your ego as well. So they were actually feeding you in a kind of not intentionally,
maybe,
but because they're giving you a sense of an ultimate sense of power.
Yeah.
And not many people get to experience power. Power in itself is a trip.
Yeah, exactly that. That's exactly what it is. And that's, I think, what you're saying. The feeds of ego is the power.
You were sorry because I'm not fully aware of this. So I'm starting to understand you.
Yeah.
So you were obviously a really elite player, and that you could get away with doing things because of your position.
Yeah.
Wow. That's an crazy experience.
Yeah, that's there. You don't get into that position. Wow. Very there's only a few that really, I think, get into that sort of position where that kind of happens,
and you see what happens to people with power, man. Just power in general.
If you're not,
can be very dangerous.
If you're not centered and you don't have the right people around you, that's where the destructiveness comes in. If you got the right team and you fix what's going on in here, those things you can actually be good with.
Was there no one in the soccer or anyone around you that knew about healing, self-help? Was no one talking about it?
Yeah, no, look, you kind of, I would always read books, and I was spiritual books. And it wouldn't be until later kind of in life about that I'd gone and have healings with with like healers. I saw this woman in Upway that I would go and see, always get clearings, and she would kind of give me an alignment of where my things I need to be watchful for. But then
is that during football or post?
Would have been post.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't have.
Did the journey of healing start sort of as you came out of football?
Yeah, it would have been.
What drove you to stop playing? Was it retirement? Was it like
retirement?
It was retirement.
Yeah,
so
like I probably had the opportunity to go somewhere else, but I think my legacy wouldn't have been the same if I'd left one club to go to another just for like a year or so.
Yeah.
Because you see that happen, like one club, man, it's a kind of a legacy,
Yeah, I love that.
But yeah, that journey probably didn't happen till after. And being in another relationship where my ex-partner was very spiritual and knew a lot about all these things, and that's when I got more into it. And, and then I kind of but then I was still doing things that so it's great to have it, but if you're not living it, it's I don't think it works as strong as when you're actually really living that life. And I think now I am I'm very strong. I meditate every morning. It's like gratitude list every morning. I write. I say a prayer every morning. I've said that I've been doing that for the last 4 years religiously. If I don't, I still am very connected to my the higher power in the universe. But I do that every morning. That's my go-to.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm kind of settled, but it wouldn't have started until after football that I'm being in, and now the partner I'm with now, we're right in it. Yeah.
Well, if football was an outlet, and then let's say you've got these subconscious traumas, you've got you're a byproduct of it, which is fine. And probably in that time you were deep in footy, they were giving you you had this power, this sense of power as well. Then you leave footy. What became your outlet?
Wow. Well, I don't think I didn't have one.
Okay.
And I think whatever outlet I was doing at that time was destructive.
Yeah. So was there a big down period after footy?
Yeah, there was, but I was you would have heard about the duck being all nice up top, but then underwater his legs are like that's what was happening with me.
Yeah.
But then I felt like maybe I was calm out of the water, but no, everything was chaotic. Because everything inside was chaotic.
Yeah.
So
was it a tough transition?
Yeah, personally, from work, it was.
Yeah, when I asked before, it had nothing to do with work. It was more about mentally.
Well, that's
okay.
No, it was not in a great way at all, man.
That was where.
Yeah, not a good. And that's where a friend of mine. That's when he said those things. And then that's when I started to kind of things were bad until it got it kind of got good, and I think it just.
So you're doing meditation now, you're praying, all that's good, but what was the transition? What were the tools that you used to heal from the down period to get to the point of where you are now?
Well, I think you get presented with people when it's maybe it's time, maybe the universe has gone it's time, man. We've put you in this position long enough. And
was there a pivotal moment? Was it that guy saying that to you, or was there a moment where you were like, I need to strive
seed, right? That was a seed being planted, right? In that, okay, wow, okay, maybe I need to take notice of what's going on here. And then, then the things started to happen. I got into a relationship. Then I started to see the spiritual side of things. I started to wash away all the ego, all that football Archie because it was you're Archie Thompson, the footballer. You're Archie Thompson, the footballer. But I'm more than the footballer, right? So, and that's what I had to learn. You almost have to relearn yourself because you're in this position of power, and then you go into the shit. and then you've got to rediscover who you really are because you're not the Archie Thompson football with all the power and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You're someone.
And you're in the
else.
bubble. For
yeah,
so
you're in the
long
bubble.
too,
You're not in that anymore, man. You got to try to figure out your own stuff, and then you start to learn things and understand things, get presented things to kind of be able to heal the things that have affected you.
But that's why I'm asking, like, what are the things that how do you rediscover who you are?
Well, I think with
is it breath work? Is it meditation? Is it healers?
With healers, like I got it with healers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like I still see a lot of healers now. Like yeah, I need that because the
you need to work through things.
Yeah,
have
kinesiology. I see a great kinesiologist in Heidi Everett. She's brilliant. I've actually got one in a couple of weeks. I need it. Like I need every sort of cycle, every sort of 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
To get blockages cleared, and I see I got a great healer in Adelaide, Yvette, that she's brilliant. There's one in Upway sometimes I might go to. Like those sort of things are things that I need to kind of to help me with because it's deep stuff. It's not surface stuff.
I'm a true believer that it needs to turn really dark before it turns light.
Man, 100%.
So when you were playing soccer, there would have been things to deal with, but because there was not much darkness at the time, there was a lot of ego and going out and you're living the high life.
Yeah.
I feel like you had to go through a dark side of things to find out who you really were.
Yeah.
I believe.
And that's so funny. Like you're so unconscious of it. Like you think you're traveling all right, but you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, until you do the inner work, you're never gonna, and I was, because I'd hurt enough people and I was hurting myself more than anything. It was time. And it's almost like there's like a spark in you that lights up. It's like, it gets dim, but then like for whatever moment it might be, you get a spark, and then the spark just leads on the more because you want to do more, and the more that you do, the more gets presented, and like it always goes like there's always dark moments, I did inner child work with this guy named Dean Benson like a couple of years ago. The course was called Drugs to Divinity. But it was like it was all about like certain crutches, but then it really was about family constellation work. I don't know if you've ever done family constellation. It's insane. Like it's because you actually feel the energy of what your dad was feeling or what your mum was feeling. Like you actually feel like you feel it.
Wow.
The emotion of it. It's like you're living in them, and it's crazy stuff. So like learning all those things, learning what your mum had to deal with, your dad, because you were in that position energetically, like all these little things that I would never have known about, like it gets presented. And there's still a lot more. I wanted to do ayahuasca.
That's on our to-do list.
Yeah, like because there's things that you can't get to without. But my healer was saying like because of maybe past relationships with alcohol and stuff, is that may be not good for you to do because the journey you're on now, you're slowly starting to break away. But I still want to do it because I've seen, and because you see about it, right? You see the research, you see people's experience with it. I've had a good mate that did it, and I want to be able to do those things because there's maybe stuff that I can't heal that is like under the subconscious of it all,
No, you go. It's just cool that you're on that journey of chasing that too.
But that's
that's half the battle.
Your chase is different, man. Like I don't need all the all the cars and the house or lots of money. It's so funny when people go, what about this? Money's great. Like money's great. It's good to have. Like money's good because you can have experiences with money. Money is about having experiences, right? When you're grabbing the money for other things, it's like to get the fancy car and all this sort of stuff. Nah,
that's
like
empty.
Yeah, for me now, from learning from my partner is my life's about having experiences. You need money sometimes to have those experiences.
100%.
So that's how I have a different relationship with money like that. But I don't even know what I was saying.
Look, for me personally, like every time I connect with, God, I speak to God, and I ask God to speak to me, a lot of the times the messages that come through is it's all about the journey. Yeah. There is no destination.
Yeah.
And like you wanting to do ayahuasca is something that it's a spiritual, it's a very, very spiritual
if you're doing
experience,
it for the right
but
reason.
But also they say that the plant will call you.
Yeah.
So if you feel called to it doesn't mean that like now might not be the time, but maybe in 5 years it will be. There's no hurry, and there is you don't get to a place where like, oh, I'm now this person.
Yeah.
It's the journey of growth.
Yeah.
It's the journey of growth, and you just keep going for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And you
100%.
keep experiencing new things that drive growth.
Yeah.
And there'll be a time where all of us get to experience ayahuasca at the divine time.
Yeah.
I 100% and like you made that decision, to leave Belgium at that time, or the decision to stop being friends with that mate. The time where you make the decision to do the ayahuasca will be impeccable.
And the thing is, I think because I'm that type of person that sometimes was like, I want that yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, I want things to, and I think because of the experiences I've had over the last like 3 or 4 years, in healing wise, I want it to happen quicker. But it only happens. Yeah, but it kind of just happens when it happens. But it'd be amazing to experience like really deep stuff. But you're right.
But like it sounds like you already are.
Yeah, like man, 100%. Like I'm really happy with where I'm at and what kind of gets presented to me to be able to go, okay, I feel like doing that. Or I just get thrown into it,
Yeah.
But it's just.
I've booked you a ticket to ayahuasca next week.
Yeah, but where you going to Peru?
No, I'm taking you.
Oh yeah.
The universe told me.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, it might happen, man.
We've got a mate of ours. He's been trying to get us to go to Byron Bay in January.
Yeah, there is.
Apparently, there's a really good one.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. I definitely heard about that.
They might shut it down now.
It's been exposed. Cut that bit out.
Hey, so like with this whole story, it's incredible, but you seem to hold regret towards who you were. And I just want to sort of ask you, have you forgiven yourself?
Yeah. Like when I say regret, like I mean, you have regrets. And I think, and I've said this just recently actually too, is that like I have a lot of regret and shame. And before the journey I'm on now, that would drag me back in there. Like, and then I'd start to go back down that hole of like, oh man, but it doesn't have that power over me anymore. Like I can acknowledge the pain that I might have caused someone, I caused myself, but it's like, okay, well, you're just not going to do that again, and then you with the inner child work, you guys have done inner child stuff, right? Like you go back and you just give that person at that time that you were, whatever age it was, that hug and say, look, man, you don't have the tools of what I have now. You didn't know that then. Is what I know now. So don't be hard on yourself. I'm here you don't need to steer the wheel anymore. I'm the version now that is going to steer it for you. And so I can go back into that. I could go back to the kid that was like, 7 years, grade 2, feeling uncomfortable, worried about his skin. Like, man, you don't need to worry. We're all unique. We're all different. Those kids that were teasing didn't know better. They didn't know how to maybe, and maybe like you blow it up because you're a kid and you blow it up to be this. But I don't think those kids made fun of me after that, but I felt like they did. But I could go and grab that young Archie and say, man, it's all good, bro. you're not that, I'll give you a hug. So that's that inner work, right?
Love that.
Yeah, but we don't get taught these things, do we?
Yeah, no.
Oh, imagine a kid getting taught that at a young age.
Yeah.
But why isn't it part of schooling?
This is why the
why isn't it
conversations we
part of
always
just normal
you see this
conversation?
conversation, right? But I wish something gets done about it, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Why don't they just teach kids how to use a fork and knife at school? Like, they literally don't. Like, there's nothing useful that.
100%.
Like, all the stuff that we need to know. If don't get me wrong, like some people are privileged to have parents that actually teach them a lot of the things, but then some people don't.
Yeah.
So what, like, you know, and not just that, even some like it's not even a privilege because some parents will teach their kids some skills and other parents will teach them others.
Yeah, it's only
but
skills what the parents got, right?
Communal skills that get taught at school, you know, that pick up the missing pieces for the kids that are missing it.
And look, my boy left school when he was like, I think he was 15 or 16, but he was getting so much anxiety, and he was like, I'm like, man, we just want you to be happy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's maybe I don't know if the mindset's still the same, but I feel like it's changing a little bit. But as a kid, like growing up in my generation, was you had to go to school, you had to learn, you had to finish, you know? My processes and the way of thinking about that is completely different. Like I want my kid to be happy and safe and feel like he doesn't have to worry all the time. And like, you know, he would wax cool anyway. I mean, I did the same thing, but I was like, man, tell me this. You don't need to go through the pain that you're in.
Yeah.
And you're going to learn things out in the world anyway, man. It's some things there's basics you want to learn at school, but man, you're going to learn it anyway. So I just want you to be happy. We'll figure it out on the way, you know?
Yeah, all kids are having the experience. This is something we talk about all the time. Like even just kids in general, going to school, you're always trying to fit in.
Yeah.
Everyone's insecure.
Yeah.
Whether color or no color, like everyone in school has insecurities and everyone's trying to fit in. That's why the kids would pick on someone or that's why kids would be nice to someone. Everyone's intention at school is just trying to fit in.
Yeah.
Cut my hair like this, wear these shoes.
So
I got to wear that jumper.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to fit into, and you see in big schools, everyone's like segregated into groups because that makes them feel safe.
Yeah.
You know,
but we're doing it as adults too. Like, you know, we're still insecure about I'm still insecure about certain things. Like I'm a jealous person. I'm not as jealous as what I used to be, but like I get jealous. And that's my insecurity. But I work through those things that it doesn't have the power on me. Like, you know, I might be my girlfriend might glance at someone, like, you know, I'll see a handsome guy. Immediately I'm thinking, oh man, he's like, you know, if she was in here, she'd see you lads and like, oh, well, there's some handsome couple of boys. But that just but that's, you know, there's beautiful people out there, bro. And it's okay to look and like, you don't need to go into this story about like, oh, they're going to run off with. So these are these insecurities we're still getting as adults. But,
for sure.
But if you're not doing the work on it, you know, but imagine kids not doing it. Like throwing kids in that like zoo of insecurity, man. It's crazy. This is where we should be teaching all this stuff.
100%. If money wasn't a thing and you had to work today, what would you be doing? You had anything you could do? What would you do?
Oh man, play lots more golf.
Golf?
No, look, I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, that's a good question. I honestly, I'd be just having experiences. Going to traveling and experiencing different cultures. And I just got back from Sri Lanka not long ago. Like that was an amazing experience. I never would have thought, but I want to see the spiritual sides of things as well.
Get away if you need a new host.
Yeah, man, Sri Lanka, beautiful people, beautiful country.
Archie Thompson.
Yeah, beautiful people. We want to go to Peru next year to travel, but I think what I would do is have experiences. I think that's something that I've learned through my partner now. Is that and even what I say to my kids, like kids, some parents are like, "You got to save your money. You got to save your money. You got to save." I'm like, "No, man." There's plenty of time. You never know where you're going to be. Like, you know, save your money. Oh, well, save your money to travel, to have experiences.
No, 100%.
That's what life is all about. I think. 100%. Yeah, not being.
We say that all the time. That's our mantra.
What's the mantra?
The mantra is to just have experiences. Have experience.
This is why I like, because I get asked to do podcasts all the time, but and sometimes I'm like, yeah, okay, but. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I might do, because I feel like I'm having an experience. You know, that this might be an experience. You don't know. So like that's why, you know.
Hope you had a good experience.
Great experience.
Everything is the experience. Man. And that's why we're podcasting. Like I've been privileged to, like, I've always had that mindset. Always just wanted to have experiences. You know, even like from a young age, just like catching the bus was an experience. Jumping on the train, and then it always, you know, just to experiencing. It's kind of what we're here to do, you know. And if we're not experiencing things, then we're just caught up in random shit.
Yeah, we're just going through life with really, like, we're not doing anything.
The experience of spirituality, the experience of, you know, your mental health, your physical health, your relationships, the experience of like relationships and going on holidays, especially with your family. Like I think it's because it more than anything, like there's the sightseeing, there's all that, but it drives present family time, you know, especially as males, you know, like you said, here you're going to want to go play golf. You're going to leave the missus, or you know, there's always distractions. But when you're on a holiday, it's like real quality family time that you can never get back. You know, it's insane.
100%. And then, like, you know, I've moved in with my partner now, and I've always been in like since I sort of separated from my ex-wife, I've been in like apartments, and so. We moved into a big house because we want to have people come to, like, we want to have our family come. I had my family come over like a couple of weeks ago. I had my partner's family just the other day, and we're all in this environment having an experience of just like, you know, fun and
good.
And I'm looking forward to spending time with. I'm still an introvert. I still like my space. I like to kind of, you know, disconnect a little bit too. But something about now, like having that and building these experiences, like it's a big thing, man. Like it's it's amazing to have.
It's fulfilling.
It is fulfilling.
Like even just like. People come into your house, you're feeding them, you're giving them water, you're giving them energy, you're serving them. I think that's the key. And that's something that, like, I think we're here to serve. We're here to serve especially like, I think everyone, but like we're here to serve our families. We're here to serve each other. We're here to serve our mates. We're here to serve with energy, with every interaction too. It's like every interaction, you serve that guy by giving them the ticket to get into the grand final. Like, it's a key thing, man. It's very fulfilling when we serve others.
I totally agree, man. It's to be of service, man.
What are you
be of service?
What are you doing at the moment? Like, are you doing anything to that really, you know, puts a service out there to people?
Look, I think we service people by just saying hello sometimes too, man. You know what I mean? Like, like, oh, how you going? Or opening a door, or like, you know, those are little services, but you never know what that effect has on people. But like, you know, I'm part of a charity called My Room that helps families dealing with kids that have cancer and trying to bring awareness to that. You know, maybe someone that might be dealing with substance or like alcoholism or whatever, you know, like trying to be of service there. You know, there's all these things that you can try to help. Someone maybe starting their football journey, like, you know, a kid that maybe need a little bit of advice, or it might be even like just, you know, being there for someone, you know.
I love that.
Those sort of things, man. Like, I think I try to be as much as I can. But it's still like there's a self-care of things, because you need to protect. What can you give someone if you haven't got nothing to give, right? So I think if you're kind of feeding 100%. Both, like, it's a nice little circle, it's good, man.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah. And God's great, man. Like, I would never have thought of being like, God is, what I've learned is that there was a nice saying that I said, what is it? It skipped my mind now. What? Yeah, it's kind of what God means to you. It's like Oh man, I can't believe it skipped my mind. Man.
It'll come. It'll come. What does God mean to you though?
Yeah. Well, we all have it's what God means to you, right? Like could be anything. It's how you see it, right? Like God could be that tree, but like you know what I mean. It's what there's a saying. I can't believe I've forgotten about it, man. It's what I preach.
Let's take a quick toilet break.
Yeah.
While you think of it, because I'm busting. It's a great
man. What is that? Oh, bro.
I feel like God is just the thing that connects you.
It's your understanding of God. Like,
You fixed the mic. Sorry.
Yeah. I think it's what your understanding of God is. Like everyone has a different understanding of it. Like my understanding of God is that like I use God as being like a universe. So the universe is something that is my God. But I'm not afraid to say God either. Like, you know,
for sure.
some people think of God as being as a bad word. Like, well, if there was a God that he would be doing this or doing that. Like, it's like, no, it's my understanding of what God is. Like
100%. And that's your connection, like whatever that is to you. I feel like the religions is just a connection thing, something that you can put to words, you know, for them to have that connection to something other that you can't see. Yeah. They need to put a word to it.
100.
Do you know what I mean?
And I see so much beauty in all relationships. In all religions.
100%.
There's so many things you can take from each one. That's what I do. I feel like every religion's got something beautiful, and it's what my understanding of what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think
100%.
If it makes you want to be a better person and be of service, then you know everyone should believe in what they believe. Yeah. 100%.
So what was it? Did you remember the saying?
It's just like what your understanding of God is. Like, I mean, everyone has a different understanding about what God represents. You know, God could be, like I said, that tree to someone. They could worship the tree, but if it makes them
a better person,
then what do you do, man? Like, let them believe in that tree if they turn up and help that person. You know what I mean?
100%.
Well, if they connected with that tree, right? If you strip back the layers of like, that's a tree, whatever it is, like what's the energetic transaction that the person is having with the tree, you know? And if you took someone with like a religion, like one of the main religions, and you see the connection that they have with God, that on an energetic level, the same thing is happening. Yeah. You know,
100%.
Slightly different, but that's a very extreme example. But even just two people of two different religions, praying two different ways, connecting to the same God.
That's what it is.
It's ultimately like the same thing. It's the energetic transaction.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's just your own understanding or how you want it to be.
Yeah.
So, what was your relationship with God like in the lowest times, in the darkest times?
Man, I had no connection with anything. Okay. I think that was a problem. When I talk about the secret and attraction, that like an attracting thing, that was on a surface level. So I didn't understand the deep sort of connection of it. So I had no understanding of it until, like, you know, you start to read things a bit more. You're more conscious of things. You've been shown a lot more, and then you have a different understanding about it.
What was like your parents?
Oh, my dad hated religion, man. My dad was like a 7-day Adventist, and because he was forced into that, and he was so against it. And my mum was like Christian. She's like Christian because that was her upbringing. So she would have to be very quiet about the way that she would say things because my dad was so against it. Yeah, well. And I think that's why you take on things, right? You take on. That's why I was probably like not open to it because of what was taught to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Did mum pass on any sort of?
I might. Yeah, like. Oh, she'd always sort of got like
teaching?
No, she would all, but she was always like, oh, you know, only God willing, or like, you know, all these sort of things, right? Like, but yeah, believe in all that sort of stuff now.
Was there a moment where like it clicked into place where you were just like, wow, God is real?
I think you have it when like you have these moments when you're just walking down the beach listening to music and all of a sudden things just, you for whatever reason, you get stopped. I used to have sometimes they happen more, but I think once I sort of stopped the drink and I became more connected with myself and things around me, I started to have those moments of like being just paused and having this complete feeling of energy that like my body would tingle and like you'd feel the vibe. I'd feel it. Like I'd go, oh man, this is like probably what a drug would do to you. I was feeling like I was feeling it naturally.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I was like, man, this is incredible, incredible feeling.
The ultimate sense of gratitude.
Yes. And that's where it stems from, man. The gratitude and having that connection. That's when I started to get those feelings of like rushes. I don't know if you get those where it stops you in your track because you're just like, ooh.
I'll be honest, I had it on the way here in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, legit.
I
actually did, man. I was feeling like ultra grateful.
Yeah, man.
I could feel it rushing through my body. Like, and it depends. It takes a level of like awareness, but also like a level of disconnect. You got to disconnect from your phone, your shit, you know, to feel God's presence.
Yeah, 100%.
And really feel grateful.
Yeah. And I freaking love those.
And
almost that's a drug in itself.
Yeah,
I'm trying to chase that, you know. But I guess if those are the good things to chase, man.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
That connection.
And that's the most beautiful thing about like, you know, say the story of Jesus Christ. Like Jesus is just teaching love, forgiveness, you know, love one another as I've loved you, and you know, forgive yourself, forgive others, forgive all the shit, which is just, it's saying like just release. Release the, you know, and all religions will teach those fundamentals of basic love, forgigness and gratitude, you know?
And look, we don't always get it right. Like I'm not going to say, I might go out there and figure like, but they're like.
It's all part of it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, man. We
thank you very much for having me. Good experience.
Bless you, bro. Honestly, thank you so much. We're very grateful for you coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Lots of love. God bless.
Thank you so much for making it this far. And the fact that you made it this far, we want to reward you. If you comment, I love you on any of our pinned posts, we'll send you a $100 organic reflection voucher, valid for the first 5 people only. God bless you guys and thank you so much.